As you head off to work tomorrow, you're probably not going to need an escort. But that's not the case for Greg Rose. His 30,000-pound combine is a huge workhorse in the field, but on the road, it's just in the way.
You know, everybody's in a hurry. They'll try to get around you or past you whenever they can. You know, they get mad if you pull out somewhat in front of them.
More people moving to the countryside means more traffic on country roads. It's a trend that farmers here in Harford County are constantly adjusting to.
You know, it's fine for them to sit in traffic or something on the beltway. When it comes to being behind farm equipment or having to pull over for farm equipment, they get all angry, they give you the finger and other obscene gestures, and we're just out here doing our job.
Just down the road at Broom's Bloom Dairy, David Dallum has been watching the population explode for the past 30 years.
The development pressure has increased exponentially. You know, we're used to ride bikes up and down this road now. Now it's a major feeder to 95 and the traffic's backed up past here every morning.
Broom's Bloom Dairy has been in the Dallum family since 1726, before the American Revolution. It used to be a quiet, tranquil farm with plenty of room to grow. But as Dave's wife, Kate, will tell you, things have changed.
So this is the edge of your property line right here?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And these houses, this is Todd Lake's too.
Yeah, it backs right up to it.
Yes, and they were being built about the same time that we built our barn back in the mid-90s.
The Dallum's farm is one of many in the state that can't expand because it's surrounded by residential development. When farmland is sold to developers, it almost never comes back to farming. And no one knows that better than Bill Amos. He works with the Maryland Agricultural Land Preservation Foundation here in Harford County. His goal is to preserve as much farmland as possible.
That's my main mission, is to try to grab as many acres and place conservation easements on them while we have the chance, because someday we won't have that chance.
An easement is a way for county and state governments to preserve land. They buy the development rights from the farmer. In return, the farmer promises that even if they sell the farm, the land must always be used for agriculture. The money comes from tax revenue. When someone buys property, a share of that money goes to the Preservation Foundation, which in turn buys development rights from farmers. This map shows the difference in the landscape between development in the 1950s and today. When Bill sees houses where there used to be fields, he gets a bit sentimental.
Everything up here was farm as I was growing up. Many of these farms that are now developments when I was a kid were pretty productive farms. Sad to see that changeover.
But it's not just nostalgia that keeps him going. Residential areas are a bigger drain on county services.
We have 200 acres here, and if we were all townhouses, think of the additional schools, roads, fire, police, septic uses that this 200 acres would drain from our community.
Bill also notes the environmental impact.
We're keeping this land open, not being paved, so for the protection of the Chesapeake Bay, the water is allowed to absorb back in. A lot of habitat is being protected by these farms coming into land preservation.
Thanks to Bill and the Dallum family, Broom's Bloom's 200 acres has been in preservation for nearly a decade.
Even though all of the land around Broom's Bloom has been developed, they still find ways to grow their business, like having this restaurant, which caters to the local residents of this now suburban community.
We have a huge benefit of having a large retail market and a large customer base all around us. So I actually think this farm will always be productive.
And that traffic? Well, it's just one more thing farmers and residents need to adapt to.
As more the ground becomes developed and we become more spread out, we're traveling further and deeper into areas that are higher populated. We try to be courteous to traffic as well. I mean, whenever we have a place to pull over, we like to pull over and let all the traffic by.
And courtesy is a two-way street as communities and farmers continue to grow on the landscape that we call home.